क्या है ये? नो, no, set the project. वो ऐसे आग पे आ रहा था मेरा, इसलिए. We start? Okay. 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 So this was the how Rukmini came in touch with Krishna, because she heard about Krishna's wonderful pastimes from the visitors like Narad Muni and many other sages who used to give quite regularly the updates what is happening in Vrindavan. Because yeah. Okay, who is reading? Who is having mic?
Lord Krishna knew that Rukmini possessed intelligence, auspicious bodily markings, magnanimity, beauty, proper behavior, and all other good qualities. Concluded that she would be an ideal wife for him. He made up his mind to marry her.
Yeah. So even Krishna knew about Rukmini. Yeah.
Because Rukmi envied the Lord, O king, he forbade his family members to give his sister to Krishna, although they wanted to. Instead, Rukmi decided to give Rukmini to Shishupal.
Yeah.
Dark-eyed Vaidarbhi was aware of this plan, and it deeply upset her. Analyzing the situation, she quickly sent a trustworthy Brahmana to Krishna.
Upon reaching Dwarka, the Brahmana was brought inside by the gatekeepers and saw the primeval personality of Godhead sitting on a golden throne.
Yeah. So Brahmana came and then he saw the Lord sitting on a golden throne.
Seeing the Brahmana, Sri Krishna, Lord of the Brahmanas, came down from his throne and sat down and seated him. Then the Lord worshipped him just as he himself is worshipped by the demigods.
Yeah. So two things Krishna did. One was he left his asana to give him asana and then worshipped him. So whenever great personality comes, we should not keep sitting on our asana. So that is the first etiquette, which was broken by Indra. Then he has to suffer for it. So when the great personality comes, we should get up. This applies even to when we are there in the temple. If some great personality comes, then we should get up. Whether we are sitting or whether we are sitting on chair, or that is a sign of respect. Yeah.
So I remember Prabhuji, many years ago, His Grace Sankarshan Das Adhikari Prabhuji had come to Juhu temple for just a few moments, temple hall. And you were very much concerned that we should get up and welcome him or honor him. And I was surprised what is happening. And then you personally got up, and after Prabhuji offered business to Prabhupada, he was going towards the courtyard. Then you went behind him and to check if he needs anything, you can serve in any way. Then later on I was asking, you were telling this that we should honor such a great personality has come. But now the Bhagavatam class was going on. That is my question. Bhagavatam class was going on, and you were still very much concerned that and His Grace Ramarup Prabhu was giving class. So in that situation, if somebody so distinguished comes, what should be done? As you did, that is one lesson for us, no doubt. But you personally got up and went to see that if he needs any help in Juhu anyway, some local person should go and serve him.
Yeah, so that much at least we can do. At least two devotees go and attend. That should be sufficient. Ideally, the speaker should announce, welcome to this devotee, if he is in-house. No, that is not needed. If somebody is giving Bhagavatam class need not be stopped for. That depends on his relationship with that personality, or if he wants to get up and welcome him, that's okay. But even if he doesn't, that's not considered wrong.
बट इसका कोई रेफरेंस है क्या प्रभु जी, या आज की सिनेरियो में हम ऐसे बोल रहे हैं कि ठीक है ऐसे डिस्टिंग्विश्ड सीनियर लीडर्स आ रहे हैं, वैष्णव्स आ रहे हैं, तो स्पीकर शुड अनाउंस इंटरप्टिंग द भागवतम फ्लो, शुड डिक्लेयर और सम शुड ग्लोरीफाई फॉर 1-2 लाइन्स, ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
No,
although
it's like
sounds good, but I don't know.
That's how I have seen devotees acting. I have seen His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, if some in between his class some proper disciple walks, then he makes sure that he announces the name and say Hari Bol, things like that. So it's like that. If it is not done, that is not considered kind of, in a sense, mistake or something, because Bhagavatam is not supposed to be interrupted. So that principle is there.
And also, Prabhuji, once during Bhakti Vaibhav time, Balram Shakti Prabhuji was speaking in NVCC. So His Holiness Amiya Vilas Maharaj came to the Bhaktivedanta hall, ground floor, basement. So then Prabhuji actually stopped the class, got up from the asan, got down, full Dandava Pranam he offered, waited for a few seconds till Maharaj pointed to him, okay. And then Maharaj sat on the chair, and then Prabhuji sat on the asan to started speaking again. So it looks okay, good, very nice, but it is too much on the safe side only, because we never hear that Bhagavatam you have to stop like this and get down and offer obeisances. Or what should be done? It is getting too much into safe side, that stopping the Bhagavatam only. Or how to say it? Now here is somebody, proper disciple, sannyasi, like that, so very senior Vaishnava.
See, kya hai? The response will be different when you are sitting here, almost like a very small circle, your own temple. He may not do that if he is giving Bhagavatam class in Mayapur, and then some sannyasi walks. He's not going to get. It's like understood that every 5 minutes one sannyasi will come. So what you are going to do? So that it's understood that okay. So
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Another one person didn't get up to this. So Romharata, and then he got Mahaprasada. So that shows that Balramji took it so seriously. It was not just, generally some small mistake is there, small punishment is done, like beating or something like that. But here he killed him only. That looks too much. He just didn't get up and then he was killed only. But then Balramji wanted to make a statement. He wanted to make sure that this is how it is important. Yeah. Somebody read it. Yeah. So Krishna is showing how one should wake up sleeping devotee. So sensitively, respectfully, we disturb devotees like that. It should not be harsh, insensitive like that. Okay. Okay. Please repeat. कच्चिद्विजवर श्रेष्ठ धर्मस्ते वृद्धसम्मतः वर्तते नातिकृच्छ्रेण सन्तुष्टमनसः सदा.
The Supreme Lord said, O best of exalted Brahmanas, are your religious practices sanctioned by senior authorities, proceeding without great difficulty? Is your mind always fully satisfied?
Yeah. So these questions are very important. You see what Krishna is asking to a Brahmana, understanding that he is a Brahmana and he is chosen for this particular service. Then he is asking the welfare of a Brahmana. If you meet Vaishya, then you ask the welfare of how the business is going on and whether you are feeding cows or like that. That is Vaishya. And if you are meeting a Kshatriya, then you ask how the enemies are kept in bay, how the treasury is there, like that. So here he is asking a Brahmana. And we all are trying to become Brahmanas, doing the Brahmanical job. So these three questions are important to us also. First question he asked, are your religious practices sanctioned by senior authorities? So that means just religious practices are not sufficient. They need to be sanctioned also by senior authorities. So that means the Brahmanas are considered head, but that head also should have head. Otherwise, if head alone creates disturbance, if that head doesn't have his head. So that is the first question he asks. And then proceeding without great difficulty means difficulties are there. Krishna understands it, because whenever we are taking responsibility means some difficulty will be there. So he is telling that he says without great difficulty. That means some difficulties are always there, which is understood. So Krishna is asking that whether it is going beyond, overwhelmingly, the difficulty is going beyond your capacity. That's how he is asking. What is the difficulties Brahmana may face? Huh? Yeah, so difficulties are not external majorly. He has nothing to, there is no money problem for Brahmana. Money problem because there is no money only. So there is no problem related to money. So whatever goes on, it's just bhiksha, and then so externally that there are not much difficulties. So he's telling that all these religious practices are proceeding without great difficulty, because there is a previous karma previous anarthas, current anarthas, so that creates a difficulty. And then the third question he asks is your mind always fully satisfied? So that's how the Brahmana is supposed to be, satisfied in whatever is given. Okay, so can you list what brahmachari should be satisfied with? Prasad? Accommodation? Seva? What, like whatever is seva is given, we should be. Okay. Huh? Okay, clothing. Like? Yeah. So, how the thing is, as you grow in ashram life, then you can see back and see how sometimes foolishly we are so much concerned about these small things in our Kaumara age of brahmachari life, like that, in the beginning years. So we are very concerned कि ये नहीं हो रहा है, वो नहीं हो रहा है. So example. Example is Nimayata bro, you remember the allocation of rooms on the 5th floor had? You're there? Last. So so yeah. So the point is this, that many things keep changing. Every if you see the facilities, life, services, after 5 years something different is there, which we feel now concern very much. ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. After 5 years things are changed only, and then you feel that why I did so much. So I still remember that on the 5th floor our room was the last big room was there. They made two like that. The last Hemgiri Pru's room was ours. IVF devotees used to stay, everybody in one room only. Adbhut Hari Pru, myself, all that time some other devotees were also there in IVF. Almost around 20, 15, 20 devotees. One room only, that, like that. And the next room was New Bhakta room. All the New Bhaktas used to stay. So, and that room was very nice because air was there, and we used to sit outside and have many meetings like that. So when they made this new thing, purposefully some devotees took that last room because that was, so they gave inside, I think 3 rooms they gave, 2 rooms, like that. And then I still remember some devotees were vehemently fighting for it, that कैसा ये हो सकता है, वही चाहिए हमको. And that went on for almost 15-20 days, that fight. Mukund Madhapuru, ye, wo. Yeah. And now it's like those who fought are least bothered about, or change that room only, or it's like, so that's how understanding that things are very temporary, we just don't get into it. We just accept understanding that ये भी बदलेगा कल, तो ज़्यादा कुछ. So okay, who was asking example? Okay. Yeah.
Authority question, asking these questions, because these two questions मतलब रिलेवेंट लग रहे हैं. हाल चाल या कैसा है आपका, स्टेटस पूछ रहे हैं बेसिकली उनका, हाउ इज, बट व्हाई दिस क्वेश्चन इन कृष्णा इज आस्किंग सैंक्शन.
That question is asked because generally the Brahmanas are given more freedom than any other Varnas. So when freedom is given, that should not become the that freedom itself should not become a difficulty. So that's how he is asking that as a Brahmana you have that freedom, but then that freedom should not be misused, or that freedom should not create difficulty. So he is asking that is your practices going on sanctioned by senior authorities. His activities are sanctioned by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, like that. So accordingly that is going on or not. That's what he is asking. Yeah. And then generally Brahmana is austere, so that pain of austerity is there. But then he is asking that whether that is manageable, like that. Here today only I saw, what is that? यहाँ पे लिखा था, there are two types of pains. One pain hurts you, and one pain, okay?
Pain that hurts you, pain that changes you.
Yeah. So there are two pains. So the pain which hurts, that is ego, and the pain which changes us, that is tapasya. So both are pain. When ego is hurt, that is also pain, and when the body, mind, they are pained by tapasya, but then tapasya makes our life. Ego hurt is negative pain. Yeah. Yeah, so then he is talking about being satisfied. So this is one thing that if you read Mahabharata also, you can see that the life of Krishna conscious person, or the even Vedic life, that is very sattvic, very, how much sattvic that we cannot even imagine that how people can be so, sattvic, because now our life has become so fast. It is like if you read Ramayana also, Ram is traveling to Janakpur for this Dhanush thing, and then on the border of that Janakpur he meets one, I think his name is Sananda or something, that one priest. And then he hears that Ram delivered Ahilya, because Ahilya was his mother. So he becomes very happy. And then he understands that this all thing is arranged by bringing Ram there and making this thing happen by Vishwamitra. So he is so happy that his mother is delivered because of Vishwamitra's intervention. He starts glorifying Vishwamitra, and then this is all happening when they are just meeting first time, and then they are going inside now. So there almost 3-4 chapters are there. Then he starts talking about Vishwamitra's previous life, how he became, Brahmarshi and things like that. It's like huge description. So I was just thinking that much patiently they were, it's like kind of, that was there, like sometimes the talk starts, then it goes for 2-3 hours, like that. And then they will go, and so they will not say that, "Arey, 5 minutes ho gaya abhi, chalo." So things were so kind of in mode of goodness. So now, because mode of passion and ignorance are so prominent, then this satisfaction is compromised, like that. Santushto yarhi varteta brahmano yena kenachit ahiyamanaha swadharmad sa yasyakhila kamadhuk.
When a Brahman is satisfied with whatever comes his way and does not fall away from his religious duties, those very religious principles become his desire cow, fulfilling all his wishes.
Yeah, so he says that when a Brahmana is satisfied, whatever it comes, those very religious principles becomes his desire cow, fulfilling all his wishes. So this gives reminds us of the principle of dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. So who is doing rakshan of whose? Religion is protected by, religion is protecting us. We are protecting religion, or religion is protecting us? Scholars. Huh? Yeah. So it is wise. It's like both sides. So we protect religious principles. We are not the protector of dharma. Dharma is far superior to us. He is like father to us. What will give protection to dharma? What we protect is principles given by dharma to us. Follow. That we take care. And then when we are taking care of that principles, dharma being pleased gives protection to us. And then we get the strength to fight against all negativity and maya, like that. So here also he says that when we are doing our religious duties, that religious duties fulfill all the wishes. Every day morning also we sing the same thing. What? Huh? So thing is, before that is, we say what line? One line before. Chakshudan is next. Before I am telling. So, Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. So, if we just uh, serve the lotus feet of Guru, main principle, then what happens is we fulfill all our spiritual desires. So, like that. So, if we are religiously duties, then that gives us, like the cow gives all the facilities, that facilitates. So, our facilities in spiritual life are not coming from fundraising. Our facilities are coming from following the principle of serving Guru. So, the facilities we can see in the life of Prabhupada also, because Prabhupada, I was just reading at one place, he said, my godbrothers, they were far superior in knowledge, far superior in realizations, far superior in many aspects. But then Prabhupada says, and then Prabhupada only asked this question, then why Krishna chose me to do this miracle? And then Prabhupada gives the answer, that he says that my only qualification was that I had full faith in the words of my spiritual master, and I did my 100% to fulfill it, like that. And then Krishna created everything. He gave everything. Krishna gave manpower, money power, all types of facilities were given to Prabhupada. So like that. Yes, Mujhe.
So if you can please tell some situations where Srila Prabhupada actually translated this statement into some actions, then we can understand, okay, how to apply this actual life.
First is we should hear nicely our spiritual master. What is his expectation? So that has to be very clear, that his expectations are like expectations means both. One is the activity based, another is quality based expectations. So, like for example, Prabhupada, he expected more temples, more books. That was one. And then another expectation was that we become devotees. So, when we hear the words of spiritual master repeatedly, Hare Krishna. So, you'll find that expectations are repeatedly again and again said by Guru. Guru makes it very clear what he expects. That is not very hidden, because that is his job to make it very exclusive, that everybody knows what I expect. So if you just associate and hear a spiritual master, things becomes clear. So along with that, if we are having a direct connection with spiritual master, things can be clarified. If that is not the case, then we clarify and go ahead with the guidance of other seniors. like that. What you are asking?
Where in life we practically applies this, that I had faith in the words of my spiritual master. Because of that I was successful. So where it practically gets applied, how do I see practically applied in my life or somebody's life or Srila Prabhupada's life, then I understand, okay. Because I can very much say I have faith in the words of the spiritual master and I may be completely in Maya.
No, how the thing is, uh, okay, one small pastime comes to my mind. This was I heard in one of the uh, I think Bhagavatam or something. This Radha Krishna Prabhu was telling this in the Radha Krishna Prabhu is where is Radha Krishna Prabhu? Huh? Okay. Huh? Okay. So he was telling, because in Gopinath, many neighbors were very kind of very not friendly like that. So one day, temple car was parked in front of temple, and that the road is not so big. So if you park one car, then it becomes almost 60% only remains like that. So generally that used to happen. So what was done by is person who was staying just across the road in front of temple. He came out and then saw that temple car is parked there. He took a stone and then front glass only out there. So that glass cost at least around कितना होता है? So something like that. 10-15 हज़ार लगता है. तो वो फोड़ के थोड़ा गाली वाली दे के चला गया वो. तो डिवोटीज को जब पता चला तो तुरंत बाहर आए. वो आवाज़ हो गया तो फिर उनसे झगड़ा कर रहे थे वो. तो उसका उसका बीबी भी आया नीचे. देन शी वाज आल्सो सीइंग दैट कुछ तो गड़बड़ चल रहा है. सो 4-5 डिवोटी भी जमा हो गए. सो डिवोटीज वेयर इन द मूड दैट अरे आपको इतना क्या प्रॉब्लम है, एक साइड गाड़ी लगा है, आप वहाँ पे रहते हो, आपको क्या करना है, ये आपको हु गेव यू दिस लाइक. सो सम डिवोटीज वर टेलिंग वी शुड गो टू पुलिस, लेट्स गो टू पुलिस, छोड़ेंगे नहीं ऐसे इनको. तो देन द होल थिंग वाज गोइंग ऑन. देन बिकॉज राधा कृष्ण प्रभु वाज इन चार्ज देयर, so he was telling that he was just remembering that if instead of me, if Maharaj would have been here, how he would have dealt the situation. So then he controlled all his emotions, anger. He folded his palms and he told that lady and that person that very sorry if there were any inconveniences for you. And then he just went inside. So other devotees also were shocked. अरे क्या है ये, पुलिस में जाने का सोच रहे हैं, हमारी आप ऐसा दंडवत करके चले जा रहे हो. So then that person went inside. That lady also went inside. After 5 minutes that lady returned with some 15,000-20,000 rupees and he gave it to Radha Krishna Prabhu. Said that I'm sorry, it was mistake of my husband only. So, and then she went. So, then Radhakrishna Prabhu was telling that we hear many times words of spiritual master, but then if you don't have guts to you kind of actually put it into practice, or we feel that maybe that is only, they are great souls, they are supposed to speak great things. Anyway, Bhagavatam class is for that only, and but we have to deal, down people. So then he was telling that there I could understand that if you live by that principles, they pay you off. Here in this case, it was literal. So just by behaving humbly, that paid off, like that. So when spiritual master is telling that okay, you do book distribution, Krishna will take care of you, then it's like the 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 whole life mission is given by the spiritual master. How that will happen, we don't know. But then that principle itself is very potent. Just having faith in that and not compromising it, even if it is difficult to apply. It may appear impractical at times, but with guts, courage, you apply that and you get benefit.
Okay, so thank you, Ruji. So it means that faithfully applying the instructions of spiritual master, intelligently as per time, place, circumstance, as it is. And for applying that, not only faith, have the courage and the guts, as you said, to apply that as it is. Where many other will buckle in those situations. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is telling, because he himself said in one lecture, I blindly followed the instruction of distributing books, printing books and distributing books. I did not know what will happen. I blindly followed and now I can see human success. Thank you.
Any other example? Any other example? Yeah. Annamrit wale.
Srila Prabhupada was preaching in America when he started. So their local people told that you compromise one of the principles. One of the principles you compromise, regulative principles. You compromise and you can preach more. But Prabhupada was not very attractive with compromising on the standards or the instruction given by special shastras. And he was very bold in practicing them, preaching them, instructing them, and we can see that he is having that faith, and now things have come up. So when testing time comes, when we need to that religiously follow the religious principles. Religiously, without compromise, with understanding its value, then result also comes.
Because sometimes you don't see any connection. Like now, the example which I gave, keeping a humble disposition and getting the money back, there is no, in one sense, correlationship. Rather, you feel that I should fight for it and then I'll get it back. That's how the logic flows. But then we see that to the degree one is having faith in spiritual master's words, then he is not waiting for logic like that. Because Prabhupada has said that the strength of the whole movement, ISKCON movement, lies in the principles laid by, like whatever principles he has given. Getting up early, attending morning program, attending Bhagavatam class, being with devotees. So, which apparently looks like ये तो कोई भी कर लेगा, कर ही रहे हैं वैसे भी, तो उससे क्या होने वाला है? ऐसा कुछ तो तीर मारने जैसा कुछ करना चाहिए, फिर कुछ तो होगा. So that's how we can see that spiritual master may give a very simple instruction, but that is very potent and not compromising, minimizing or devaluing it and following it nicely. That's where the challenge is. So how much one can follow can be learned from Shabari. That she was told that Ram will come, you take care of, you be there to welcome. Now she was not waiting for just few months or something. Whole life she waited. Every day she was getting ready, making the whole ashram clean, keeping the fruits, fresh fruits, flowers, and everything like that, waiting for Lord Ram. And then that day goes off. The next day again, clean the whole thing, get some fresh fruits, flowers, like that. So she had full faith in the words of spiritual master that Ram is going to come anyway because my spiritual master has told it. So she was not thinking, Arey, so many days passed by, nothing has happened. Could be then Ram, I don't know. To that understanding from day one to last day, like that. We see another example of Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, that Prabhupada told that you make 3 altars, one Krishna Balram, another is, I think 2 altars. कितने हैं? गौर निताय, कृष्ण बलराम एंड जगन्नाथ जी. एंड देन ही हैड टोल्ड दैट जगन्नाथ जी का डीटी मत बनाओ, वो आ जाएगा. So Prabhupada said like that, and then Gaur Govind Maharaj followed that. After 2 days there was an inauguration of the temple and the deities were not there. And other devotees were putting pressure on him that he was like, अगर वो deities नहीं आया तो दोनों altar खोलेंगे क्या? तीसरा अभी 2 दिन में थोड़ी deities, कुछ तो करना चाहिए ना. वो बोले नहीं, Prabhupada had said I'll wait. लेकिन जब 2 दिन हो गया तो फिर things were becoming like, it's like it was pressure. So Gaur Govind Maharaj stopped eating and drinking only. He started fasting, feeling that how is it possible that Prabhupada's words will go wrong? It can happen that because I am not capable, that's how Jagannath is not coming. Maybe there is some flaw in me, so I need to purify myself. So that was his mood. So to purify himself, he was fasting. And then for sure the Jagannath ji, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan came just day before opening of the temple. And then that was installed. So it was not so easy to follow the principle, that order of Prabhupada. Practical. Everybody was telling him, be practical. And he was telling, I'm practical only. I'm following my guru. He said, no, this is not practical. So many people will come, thousands of people. Just at least keep some plan B ready, in case something goes wrong. So, where and in our life also, will have so many such kind of tests. Okay.
Would
So
you
when-
one example?
give comment.
क्वेश्चन था, हम जब देखते हैं हमारी लाइफ में कि ये फेथ का कमी है, तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए उस समय में?
No, faith entirely depends on our association, whom we associate with, either through hearing, either through following, either through reading, or associating personally, like that. So however, whoever we associate with, that's how our faith is generated, strengthened, destroyed. All that thing happen through association only. So we should have a right type of association. So it's like that. We have faith now little bit on Prabhupada because we associated with Prabhupada's devotees. Like that. So
Puji, his Nimaitai Puji was telling, very relevant, that we may doing it we may say that I have a faithful master, but what it practically means. So I could see Puji sometime I say I am so faithful to Srila Prabhupada or to my spiritual master, but I no, externally I am a brahmachari, I am living in temple, maybe doing morning program and other regulative principles following, but the heart is not in that somehow. So what it how it come in action. So I could see Puji, this recently you were mentioning about this Indo-Pakistan, India-Pakistan war, and before that lot of this happening. I could see myself, Puji, that last year told me, Puji, this ad in Bodhantas Parasparam, this group is there, a temple video. WhatsApp group is there, Bodhantas Parasparam. So he asked me, you are going for Harinam Sankirtan, post your videos there, it will be very attractive. So I did, Puji, that ad in that group. So it was fine, and many updates come, many videos come on health and this and that. But last 6 months I could see a lot of videos were coming, what all previous governments had done in India, how they have spoiled India, what all things have come. Like recently one video came, 5 lakhs kilo of gold they have to government has taken only from Tamil Nadu. So all these things make me. And this is one example which I am giving, and many such videos which हमारा खून गर्म कर दे Puji, नहीं ऐसा. Many such videos come in that group and devotees share very So but I could see Puji last 1-2 months it become too much for me to digest and always then my mind is very contemplative Puji, and all these things look very relevant when I read Prabhupada books and see the situations. Favorable government is there, so that my mind goes more and more how we can improve, what can be done national level, and this can be done, and then Vedic culture can be brought back, and all these things. Puji, there's so much contemplation, too much. I could see I'm going in some other zone only. So and I could see my weakness in Puji, in chanting holy names, morning program, the fight to purify my heart, to work on anarthas. To spread pure Krishna consciousness, and I was then without your permission I removed that group, Puji. WhatsApp will left the group, and I inform you also, Puji. Then Puji, I am leaving now because. So now I am thinking, Puji, this I may be in the morning program, but I have chosen some alternative way. Like yesterday you were mentioning, or someday you were mentioning, brahmachari means who has time for Krishna. Somewhere you mentioning, I heard recently class or GS class, you mentioning, what is the meaning of brahmachari? He has time for Krishna. Or Nimaita was mentioning yesterday reading, that he has space, his time is for Krishna, to dwell on Krishna, to serve Krishna, and describe Krishna's glory. That is the brahmachari. Then I could see externally I am, but I have chosen an alternative path to get distracted. So this, when Babuji was telling, what does mean faith? Faith means that I avoid all distractions, come on my practices, and stick to the simple path what our acharyas have done. They all were also in same situation. Now things are better. At that time, Mughal were the kings. The government is still better. So they still not get distracted. They still practice pure devotional service and preach pure devotional service. So who we are then to get acted? So I just felt this is negative side of not having faith. Externally, I am a good devotee. I say I am Prabhupada man, but internally, the what I supposed to do, I am not doing it, for personally and for preaching also.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
observation है ना कि ये if person is not actually dwelling in Krishna तो फिर उसका ही हो गया ना प्रभु जी फिर ये नेगेटिव एग्जांपल am I correct?
So we all have to individually assess our status like that. Okay, how much we are Hare Krishna, absorbed in Krishna, and how much we are having the absorption in worldly things like that. So, worldly things doesn't always mean some dirty things only, but then even dharma, artha, kama, moksha type things also are worldly only for a devotee. So, yeah.
So you are mentioning about the having faith on the words of the spiritual master. So lot of then sometimes in the name of practicality or the we are not able to see or the kind of result, we are not on that platform like exalted devotees, whatever they could see. So then how we should like take it? Sometimes in the name of practicality we may not follow that instruction as one incident you already told that Radha Krishna Gurus like that in any principle like that given by the Prabhupada or the spiritual master.
Yeah, so when we are not able to, that following principle is becoming too difficult. That's the second question to this Brahmana was. The second question was, whether these practices are proceeding without great difficulty. So that means Krishna is expecting that Brahmana can tell him that अभी यहाँ पे practice बहुत difficult जा रहा है because of these things. So then there can be some measures to rectify the situation. You understand? So we have a right to go and tell that नहीं हो रहा है, या तो मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है, या सिचुएशन बहुत डेंजरस है, या जो भी है. It is not that it's like Prabhupada told Gargamuni and his brother to go to Pakistan, but the next day only Prabhupada changed his mind, and then he called them back. So of course, because there was a delay in under this thing, they had already left. They had already landed in Pakistan and started preaching. But then afterwards, again the communication happened, and then Prabhupada called them back. So then he was trying to please Prabhupada, whatever. When Prabhupada told go, they went. Prabhupada said come back, they came back. So it's like that. So when we are able to not able to do, then we go back and tell नहीं हो रहा है. And if that time you find that he is wanting you to continue, then we just continue. If he gives alternative, then we take that alternative. Devotees in Juhu. Hare Krishna. इसका सेल. So the Juhu devotees went to Prabhupada telling that it is very difficult. So many rats, so many mosquitoes, this, that. So they were expecting Prabhupada will modify the situation. Either Prabhupada will say, okay, if it is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. आधा बैटरी है 50%. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, yeah, so devotees went to Prabhupada telling that nahi ho rahe. Then Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna. So either Prabhupada would have called them back. Okay, ठीक है, if it is not so good, then come back to the previous place, which has more facilities and things like that. And then if Prabhupada would have called them, they could have gone back and then kept on preaching and things like that. But then Prabhupada told, nahi, be there only. So then they understood that, okay, that is how Prabhupada wants. Then they continued there. So it was like that. But then they went and told Prabhupada, nahi ho raha hai. That is not wrong.
Hari. So my question is not like only based on services only, but whatever sadachar, whatever expectations, spiritual master.
Yeah.
So we may not able to follow up to that mark sometimes, whatever because of reasons. So.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing, that this one Mataji asked this question in Sunday feast to Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. Maharaj gave class on tolerance, and then publicly she asked, but Maharaj, कितना tolerate करने का? So Maharaj's answer also was very classic. Maharaj said, to that degree you tolerate. Like that. So it's like that. So I want to get purified 100%, and that is goal. But my body and mind and other things may break down at 50 only. So then I understand, okay, that is my limit. So at least 50 I try first. Step number 1. That's okay. So somebody may try for 60, 70, like that. So basically it is depends on, like, we can have discussing with seniors, we can say that, okay, this much I can do. This is little beyond. So it's like that. Okay. So we see here that श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा. That if you just follow the principles given by our spiritual master, everything related to spiritual life is revealed, provided, like that. When we don't do that, then we are just struggling by our own without the help of spiritual master. It's like that. So spiritual master is helping us by giving guidance. Along with that guidance, that cow is there. She can give all the milk and other things in due course of time. So it's like that. असंतुष्टो सकृन् लोकान् आप्नोत्यपि अकिंचनोऽपि सन्तुष्टः शेते सर्वाङ्गविज्वरः.
An unsatisfied Brahmana wanders restlessly from one planet to another, even if he becomes king of heaven. But a satisfied Brahmana, though he may possess nothing, rests peacefully, all his limbs free of distress.
थोड़ा आगे रखो, यहाँ पे बीच में रखो उसको. तो Krishna is telling the glories of being satisfied, specifically for a Brahmana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. So that's how he says that when somebody is satisfied, he is peaceful. When somebody is not satisfied, then he wanders all over the world practically. So and I have seen also that this is one of the very important factor why generally devotees ashram, when they unsatisfied and that dissatisfaction they are not able to deal with. They are dissatisfied because they are not happy with the service what they have. They are not happy with the people they are with. They are not happy with the whatever the principles they are following. They are not happy with. So when that somebody is not happy, is in a sense, for example, somebody doesn't like Karela and then Karela sabji is there. That is just a one day dissatisfaction, just momentary. But then some dissatisfactions are prolonged. Like you don't like people you stay with. That keeps on kind of growing only. So that's how we understand here that a Brahmana is supposed to be satisfied. Okay, my now question is this. Some things we the whatever things are there, like you are dissatisfied or not liking, how you change that. It is not some program, you just change some 2-3 lines and then the whole program changes. Or it is not some physical thing that you make some adjustment, दो चार बटन घुमा के नीचे ऊपर करके, no, that disliking is gone. How we deal with it? Huh? Okay, it is my past karma. Huh? Take guidance. No, I am because why I am asking, because you all are in preaching, and then you will find that this kind of people will come to you. They come to us telling that ये ठीक नहीं हो रहा है, वो ठीक नहीं हो रहा है. Then first we have to be on ground. We should be happy with our whatever we are doing so that we can help him. अदरवाइज हमको भी लगता है, मैं भी ऐसे ही हूँ, ठीक है प्रॉपर का पुस्तक पढ़ो, जब करो, ठीक हो जाएगा. तो दैट यूनिवर्सल kind of thing is given. So my point is how we deal with dissatisfaction. Mike.
Prabhupada said that inside it may be difficult, but outside it is impossible.
Yeah.
So we can remember that.
Yeah. So spiritual life is difficult, material life is impossible. So yeah. So that is the inspiration. Jayadvaita Maharaj was asked. He was asked that we see you following this so strictly, your sannyas ashram, and he said, what inspires you? Like that. So Jayadvaita Maharaj, in his own style, he just spoke in one word only. He said, Adar ashram. That's what inspired me to remain sannyasi, like that. So, okay, what else?
Because actually dissatisfaction comes when the priorities are different. Means if priority is only on our like how I like this, I like, means if the priority is like this, then person becomes dissatisfied. If the priority is changed to please guru or devotees, then our dissatisfaction doesn't matter much, even if it is there. So that has to be checked. Basically, person has to check what is his priorities.
So that means person who puts himself so much in center, person who is basically selfish, only can be dissatisfied. Because here we have come to serve Srila Prabhupada, and then whatever we can do, we are doing it. So that's why we have to see that if we are dissatisfied, why we are dissatisfied and what we are doing here then, like that. So when we go to the hospital, when the doctor comes, he says, how you are feeling? We don't tell him that this color of the hospital I don't like, I am not feeling nice. So that doesn't, oh, that is okay, you don't like that color, that is okay, and you don't feel nice, that is also, but that is not the point here. Doctor is asking you, how is your health? For that you have come here. If you say that नहीं, जब तक ये कलर चेंज नहीं होगा तब तक शायद ठीक नहीं होगा, so that becomes like, so sometimes devotee feels that unless this thing doesn't change or this thing is not happening, how can I be happy? So many times their point of discussion lies outside of the syllabus. Like here, he's feeling dissatisfied because of the color of the hospital room. So which is true. Like somebody doesn't like green color and that green color is there. So obvious. But that's not the point. So yeah. What else? How we deal with dissatisfaction? Yes, Sankarshan Bro.
When we remember our past conditioned life, and so we remember what all gifts we received from devotees and all, like chanting, association, Prabhupada books. If we remember all these gifts, then we'll be grateful and we'll remain satisfied.
Yeah. So by reminding ourselves our previous life, then we will not then we'll have lesser expectations. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
GS classes on Wednesday. I think Nimayanta Prabhu was taking. So he was sharing that in the initial phase of our life, brahmachari life, instead of being satisfied, not exactly satisfied, but he was telling about how we should also be frank with our desires, our nature. Like when you're talking about being satisfied with the services. So if somebody is not liking the service, rather let him be frank and openly express it, rather than being like a pure devotee and trying to like just प्रभु जी को अच्छा लगता है इसके लिए करेंगे but वो कब तक करते हो. So we can at least in the initial phases of our life, say 10-15 years, we try to do what we like, openly express, be frank with whatever. Cities and all is different, but especially in terms of services, I feel. And we also discussed that day. And then slowly as that devotee keeps on performing his services, slowly he transcends the modes, the nature which he has. And then he becomes like transcendental to, like as you're telling, whatever service is given, you just accept it. But initially I have seen it's very, like, although we are all discussing, but practically down the line, if somebody is given something else, some other service which he doesn't like, he may do it for 1 month or something, but then afterwards, it's not very like he doesn't perform so like well or whatever, he's not so happy. So rather let's be frank and
yeah,
this is what I am. So
understand. So now the question is the services which we like gives some satisfaction and some sense of achievement, and that gives to some stability in our Krishna consciousness, right? And if some services which are not liked, when we do that, that is tapasya, which gives purification and which also leads to the foundation in ashram. So both things are needed. Things should not be compromised.
let that transition happen slowly.
Yeah, so another thing is now, we first tapasya come first, or the the desire, whatever we want, that type of services come first? Generally, when something training is made, not only we are talking about ISKCON scenario or brahmachari scenario only. You take any ordinary child and you are trying to train him. If you always try to see that what he learned, so when he goes to the school, he is not asked which subjects you like. That only you do. Others you don't do it. So you may like only history, but he is taught English also. He is taught biology also and physics also, and like that. So then he goes through that till 12th, and then he decides, okay, now I focus more on science or commerce, like that. So that is needed. If that initial, that 10 years of thing is not done, he will be very weak. He will be happy, but no substance. Now here there is no Krishna consciousness. I am just talking from normal. That's how the training works. So we are now children, and then we are growing. In the beginning, it is always little difficult. That adds to the weakness if he is focusing only on what he likes. He will be happy, but will not get that strength to tackle many things in future. So it's like that. You ask, did you like kind of mugging up the formulas and doing so many things, doing homework and writing down so many assignments, this, that? We don't like, but we were did it. So there is some purpose behind it. It's like that. It is not purposeless. Similarly, when we come to Krishna consciousness, in the beginning, loyalty, principles like obedience, principles like that we should try to inculcate. You can't teach obedience after 20 years. Okay, let's see now, let's be disciplined. How can you teach a discipline to 10-year-old? The discipline has to be from the day one.
I'm not talking about discipline. My point is about the nature which one has.
Yeah, so this was a big discussion. I remember Radha Gopinath Prabhu was there, and then many devotees were asking this type of question, that the services has to be according to our nature, this, that, vagara. So Radha Gopinath Prabhu said, it is my experience in my last 25 years, 30 years of brahmacharya ashram. He said, it takes at least 10 years for a brahmachari to know what he likes and what he don't like. Beginning, that liking and disliking is so superficial. The way a child likes to become pilot, that is his liking, which disappears in 5-6 years. So what we like currently, that is not our nature and this and that. That is very superficial. So based on that we go, we land up where we don't know. Yeah. So some solid training has to be there. The training may not be very much to the liking of that devotee. But without that he goes ahead. It is like before clearing the previous grades without properly fundas getting clear, he is going to the next level. He will feel difficulties later on. So some things has to be done at that time only. It cannot be postponed. So first standard syllabus has to be in first standard only. Just like that. So beginning is always we are absorbing all these qualities, even if you don't like. And then eventually we land in that we understand this is how my nature is, and that services you identify and start doing it. It's like that. That gradually happens by default. You don't have to do it. So if somebody likes to preach, by default he will do it. He doesn't need any facility and time and things like that. Oh, that's his nature, that he will do it anyway. You understand? But in the beginning, training has to be there so that he become very strong foundation for spiritual life. Like that. So basically, when it comes to care and this and that, we should not be too much taking of that kind of tension. अरे ये सर्विस मैं कर रहा हूँ, क्या वो मेरे नेचर से मेल खाता है कि नहीं खाता है, तो फिर वो बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता है. वो वेरी अर्ली डेज ऑफ ब्रह्मचारी लाइफ, जब वो ज़रूरत नहीं है उस टाइम वो कॉम्प्लेक्स करने का. So like that. So we just go through and then we become very sturdy, strong, and then eventually person lands up in that service where he likes the most, he feels that he is more productive in that, and then goes on. So first training and then service which likes, like that. We see devotees tell that Prabhupada was so expert, he engaged everybody according to their nature. How many people you have like that? Out of say 5,000 disciples Prabhupada had, he engaged some people according to their nature. And how many people Prabhupada engaged in book distribution, which he wanted to do it, whether they wanted or not, that was not a question. By default, one service was there, book distribution. So not that 95% people liked book distribution. Not like that. Some spoke, some didn't speak. But then they got purified, they became very sturdy. And now they may do many other things according to their nature. So mercy will not always come in very pleasing way in our life. So mercy, we have to work hard basically. We can't just Krishna consciousness, we have to work hard basically. If we don't work hard, we don't grow, like that. Work hard in both, physically also and mentally also. So that is my understanding. Yes.
Thank you, Guruji. So my insistence on that day was for those devotees who they want to please their superiors and they take up such services, but actually they are struggling badly with gross sense gratification or certain sense gratification. And if they are given some task which they like to do very much, naturally, then they are able to take out their mind from that filth. Then I was sharing that how I can see myself when I'm talking to new youths, and they are good youths. They are asking all the basic questions, but good, sincerely they are asking, listening, understanding, knowledge. Then how, whatever situation I am going through in my life, I can see that I am pulled out of that easily and preach to them at that moment. I completely forgot everything else. Even my prasadam sometimes I make delay. So like that, I was insisting that we should not always just be good boy, always struggling with your own life. Frankly tell Guruji, this service, if you give me that service, I'll be able to, my mind will be out from that gutter and I can survive. That was that point. Regarding what you mentioned, that, and you gave example of Srila Prabhupada engaging actually everyone in book distribution. So I remember His Grace Shauri Chaitanya Prabhu Khargar, he was mentioning that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swayam Maharaj told him that first 5, 6, 7 years, take whatever service comes to you, just take it. If you are not able to understand now which service I will fit best into, then take all services. And gradually some services you will naturally get attracted to and get settled in nicely. So then that you can pick up for long run. He told me personally, Maharaj told him like that. So in the initial few years, take up whatever service comes to you, just accept it. And third point I want to say is, the element of affection or respect for senior plays a big part also in the initial years in adjusting with the service which may not be to the best of my liking. If that gratitude and that affection for the senior is very high, then the person is actually able to put his heart in that service which he may not like, and even if he gets average success in that service, he is satisfied because my senior wants, Prabhuji is feeling benefited with my this service. But if that is not there also, and he is also struggling with the gutter, then my point was that, don't be just trying to be in the good books of Prabhuji, and because gradually then you may not go into sinful life outrightly, but you may not be able to stop yourself from going into dutiful material life and material pursuits. And we have seen so many youths I have seen who are in this middle category. They don't go to sinful life and they are not in the full Grihastha Brahmachari line. And they, in between what they do, they delay or postpone their spiritual commitments and spiritual practices, and they get busy in their material life, sourcing themselves that it's not sinful, it is duty, it is required part of life. So that happens, the second category, or the gutter person goes into that. If he is not engaging, that was my point. Thank you.
But we can see also that whatever services we have as a brahmachari, I don't see that we are so thoroughly engaged that there is no time only for anything else what we like and to do that. I feel that we have enough time. We are not engaged like the time of Prabhupada. We are not engaged like, rather I really feel that I don't know how much really, if you take a kind of mean of all the devotees, I don't know, even 4 or 5 hours also we are able to serve in a day. So it's like that. So that means we have enough time for doing things which you like. So it's like that. So one cannot say that I'm not given time only for doing something which I like. Everybody will get good amount of time if they really want to do something what they like, apart from their main service also. Main service is not so pressingly overwhelming.
And for me, I can say, and I feel for many others also, that because of this, the free time gets misused actually. Either in outrightly this India, Pakistan and other such things, or in complete prajalpa, chilling out in ashram, or so to say important looking things, but they are rubbish. But which actually we identify after many years that I was just, because of Rajoguna Tamoguna outlook, I was doing so many things which are total waste of time. Why? Because from seniors, we are not given forcefully 6 hours, 8 hours engagement, practical engagement. And that's why I remember, you must be also remembering, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swayam Maharaj in Shankha Hall meeting and in Vrindavan Hall last meeting. And in Shankha Hall meeting, there so many times Maharaj said so strongly. And one more meeting before that or around that, 3 different meetings Maharaj said that all devotees, अगर 8 घंटा सेवा नहीं करना है तो आप मंदिर से जा सकते हैं आप. Openly Maharaj said. I hope, pray that recordings are there of those meetings. So many times, not one time, 4, 5, 6 times Maharaj said this. And then you remember Shankha Hall meeting, Maharaj took the name of all the brahmacharis that he was. एक एक का नाम बुला के तुम क्या करते हो, तुम क्या करते हो, तुम क्या करते हो. And then when they were justifying Maharaj, आप बहुत सेवा किया, आप अच्छा आपने बहुत सेवा, शुक्रिया आपका. One brahmachari Maharaj even said, शुक्रिया आपका, आपने बहुत साल सेवा किया. So like that Maharaj then came to his but that's what he wanted that actually. And in companies also, we have time sheet Prabhuji. I was talking to Renan Prabhu once that in companies daily before leaving office we have to fill आज 8-9 घंटे में office में क्या किया daily. If you miss one day, it escalates to the manager. Even one day if you miss, daily before leaving office you have to fill it. Shit. Every hour का account, not just you write one statement. No. Every hour you have to account for. Boxes बनते हैं 8-9 boxes, you have to write.
Okay. Anything else? Yes.
I want to say Prabhuji's answer that now his question we want to answer also that sometimes we don't get services of our liking. Then I can frankly approach you or their mentor and express. And I have a very frank one-to-one straightforward dialogue where the mentor is allowed to speak what he feels that you should be doing. And he can speak very frankly, Prabhuji, I want to do this. Tell me if doing these things I'll be in somewhere wrong area. Then the mentor can tell very frankly, yes, Prabhu, 20% of this will be in wrong area, 80% okay. And at the same time, mentor can also okay, I need 30% of your time at least for this urgent needs of ashram or my service profile. I need this 30% of your time, you can give it to for this. Then if you have this frank one-to-one exploration discussion, then this kind of situation, because some situations maybe there, some devotees may be there, as far as I have observed Prabhuji and seen Prabhuji, he may not be into gutter of sense gratification, right? So some people like that.
Yeah. So the services when it comes, that is always there. Like I'll give these 2 examples. One, how the devotees in Juhu went to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada kind of very strongly told that continue, although it is very troublesome and lot of tapasya, you continue. And then they continued. And then eventually the big temple came like that. When everybody used to go to, this is second example, that they used to go for book distribution. So one devotee complained about one devotee who was not so much heartily going out for book distribution in West, and his name was विष्णुंजन महाराज. तो एक डिवोटी कंप्लेन किया कि ये जाते नहीं है बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. So Prabhupada called him and he asked a straight question. He asked, so you don't like book distribution? He said, sorry Prabhupada, I don't like it.